Hey everyone, I'm going to talk about how the competition went for me. Unfortunately, I don't have actual footage of my build, but I am showing a screenshot of it on the screen right now. And then I'm going to show a tweaked version of my no NFT party box build while I talk about some other interesting stuff that came to my attention. And at the end, I will show a leak on the update I'm working on for the Star Playbook. So this on the screen right now is just a quick picture snip I took of my build. I normally record it for a few minutes after I wake up in the morning while I'm getting ready for work. But I woke up late and literally had 5 minutes to get ready and get out the door to make it to work on time. So yeah, I just had just enough time to take this one picture. And yes, I did make it to work on time. Anyways, the important part is I ended at rank 128, I believe, or around there. So yeah, I made it to top 200, and that's after multiple setbacks. Long story short, my game crashed a total of 5 times, and I lost out on a total of 12 hours worth of time in the competition because of it. But hey, I recovered way better than I thought I was going to. I got the spot I wanted, just a plains biome with one ocean edge. That's all that was needed. My goal was to just stick to the build I made and showcase to you all, but of course using all my NFTs in order to tweak it and improve it as much as possible. In case you're wondering what the rate was, well, the rate was all over the place, so you're gonna just have to trust my math, because the average rate, counting the entire time my finished building was running, was 5.1 party box per hour. Okay, so if you participated in this competition yourself, you know that the balancing was very difficult. The build I showcased was very balanced, but the new changes throwed it off. Yes, it produced more per hour after the changes, but it was not as balanced anymore, and you would either end up with too many food parcels or too many gift parcels. So even my competition build, as much as I tweaked it and tried to balance it, it was definitely not balanced. Every couple of hours I would have to keep tweaking it in order to make more food parcel or gift parcel, whichever I needed at the time to finish crafting my party boxes. So just some notable things I did for my competition layout. I used my legendary water towers to cover most of the water I needed for the build, so I could save space on the crops. I used my legendary wheat stand to provide passive wheats to windmills and feed mills, removing the need for me to need wheat or meadows, which saves lots more space. All that saved space is used on more windmills for more production. I added another cakery that makes batter in order to craft cakes faster, now that baguettes were easier to craft, which helped somewhat with the balance. I had to add another strawberry field, peppermint field, and pumpkin patch because of my higher rates. I used 2 nuclear power plants instead of 3 power plants. Not only does it save me one spot, but it also enables me to run my build without needing spare energy to run any of the buildings. However, that does mean that I end up crafting more lumber than I need, which is a waste of wood. So I needed to add 2 more loggers because of that. But I don't have to worry about energy taking up space in my warehouse, which is good. I also used my haunted wing NFT to supply me with all the crude oil I needed for petroleum and gasoline, so that let me get rid of the crude oil pumps. And I used my legendary Styling Ride to supply me with all the iron I needed for oak barrels, so that saved me 2 spots. 1 from the mine and 1 from the water pump. Okay, well that's enough of my competition experience. On the screen now, I have my non-NFT party box build after changes went live. I did tweak it a bit to reduce the amount of energy required by switching the lumber mills, making lumber and oak barrels around. You could have gotten away with this since balancing wood wasn't as much of an issue as before, and it was easily doing 3 party box per hour, still without any NFTs. a big jump from 2.4 an hour because of the temporary changes to crafting baguettes. But I'm not going to talk any more about this build. The next topic is a bit of a talk that happened on Townstar discussion with our fellow community members. So basically the topic was, is sharing competitive builds before a competition goes live considered cheating or unfair or breaking the game in some way? Personally, my answer is a simple no. People share their competitive builds all the time, whether before, during, or after the competition. Some people share screenshots, others stream it live, and some record a build and make videos to share it like I do. Why would it be considered cheating, you say? Well, because it looks like giving people a solution to a problem that, when solved, gives a limited number of prizes. For example, I showcase a build for the next competition that works very well, and people can watch it and learn from it so they can do a build themselves or even copy it if they wanted to. And some people consider copying a build a form of cheating, despite it not actually being against any of the rules. Now, there's nothing wrong with copying my build. You're more than welcome to copy the build if you want to. But are you going to learn from it? Is doing that going to help you learn how to play and understand the game? I think yes, to some degree. It will help you definitely understand the game. However, I encourage you to continue working on the build. Don't just settle for what's presented to you. Make it better, give it your own personal touch. Everything can be improved upon somehow. And if you're not interested in copying my build, you're just watching it to reference how you're going to make your own build or to compare it with a build you already made, that's great too. You don't have to copy the one I share. In fact, with enough time and practice, the build you make will be a better one than the one I share. And I think that would be a great accomplishment. Another question that came up was, why do I share competition ready builds? Well, because I believe it helps people play the game and learn how it works. Some people who listen to my advice and see my build showcases tend to do better in the competitions, regardless if they decided to copy the build or not. And a point was made saying that people who share competition ready builds are making it harder for players who figure out everything for themselves. But well, isn't that the way it always is? If you're going to compete and didn't realize something important because you weren't properly informed, you're not going to do as good as someone who was properly informed. Am I right? My main intention is to help people. If sharing my competition ready builds helps a majority of players, but hurts a few, I think it's worthwhile. In the end, you can't please everyone. I'll still continue sharing my builds whenever I'm able to make them, in order to help you all out. I am going to run a poll on my channel over the matter, possibly tomorrow, to get people's perspective on it. Finally, I said if my last video gets 100 likes, I will leak what update I'm working on with the Star Playbook. This cool new update is a work in progress still, but should be ready sometime soon. I'll make a video about it once it's live. It will change the color theme of the playbook to blue, similar color theme to the graphical interfaces in Star. So my favorite part of this Star Playbook update that I'm working on is this right here with the NFTs. There will be columns indicating a link to the OpenSea page with the NFT, one for the recent sell price estimated in United States dollars, and one for the recent sell price in token value. This is awesome because you will be able to look at the NFTs in this list and quickly see what the last one sold for and have a rough idea of the price. I was able to accomplish this using a script I found publicly that worked in Google Sheets and grabbed values from OpenSea. It is pretty limited, but I was able to set it up to grab values of the last sell price. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do list price or highest offerings, just the last sell price. This will actually refresh itself every couple of hours, so I had to call it recent sell price in order to not confuse people. It's possible that this refreshes and someone decides to sell one of these NFTs a few minutes later, and then the value here will be different from the last sell price on OpenSea because it hasn't updated to reflect that new sale. So yeah, it was more fitting to call it recent sell price. Oh, the NFTs list is split between two different pages. This lets me organize the information I want to show on them more clearly. Placeable NFTs act differently than applied NFTs after all. Another addition will be travel speed of units. It will be a numerical value that will show how fast a worker or animal moves. Low numbers like 1 mean real slow movements, and high numbers like 10 mean fast movements. For delivery objects, it's a bit different though. Low numbers seem to indicate lower sell times, and higher numbers indicate longer sell times. And I grabbed these values in game, by the way, and I'm still not done grabbing all of them. The items page will now clearly highlight the cells of the values that are higher or lower than the standard rule values, so it'll be easier to spot them before. And the objects page will be much more organized, giving each object the same amount of row space instead of having different row spaces. The cells of values that are different than standard rule values will also be highlighted, so they will be easier to spot than before. For now, that's all I have as I continue to work on these cool new changes that should be more user-friendly for people. I do this to help you all out, and I also like improving the playbook. With that being said, let me know if you have any other cool ideas on what I should add to the Star Playbook. I'm sure that as new features come to Star in the future, there will be more to add to the playbook then. Okay, well that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. As far as the next competition is concerned, it's Jack-O-Lantern meta, and we don't have all the details, and we've just been speculating in the Star discussion chat for now on what Jack-O-Lanterns could require. Well, yeah, let me know how you did in the competition if you competed, whether my no NFT party box build helped you in any way, whether you think it's good or bad that I share my competition ready builds, or anything else you have feedback on. Thanks for crushing that like button, I appreciate it a lot. Shout out to my subscribers, hope you are all doing great. If you're not subscribed yet, feel free to do so. Thanks for watching.